Today on The Boot Guy, we are looking at the Rooster Rosemont. Now, I'm sure you guys are wondering what the heck is going on back here. Well, I am finally moving out of the old studio space into the new one. As promised, like I said earlier in the year, beginning of the year, there's going to be big changes happening here at the Boot Guy Reviews. And yeah, I'm boxing stuff up, giving stuff away, selling stuff on eBay, but I'm still going to shoot a few more reviews before I'm done. Thanks for all the beer, boys. All right, so the first thing about the Rooster Rosemont is, outside of me calling it the Rosemont, because I read the name on the side of the box and I did a little research on the number of the boot, and that's what it came up as. It's a wonderful boot. There's a lot of great things about it, but the one thing that I know a lot of you guys are not going to like about this boot, and this is probably the same thing that I don't like about this boot, is it's a composite toe and a logger. Now, we all know that composite toes and loggers don't play nice with chainsaws, but this boot was not made for guys working with chainsaws. So let's just talk about their toe, just right off the bat. It's a wider oblique toe, which is something in the work environment with an EH logger boot that you want. So you got a lot of space inside there. Whether you're wearing thicker socks or whether you're putting 15-hour days and your feet are swelling, you want to have this wider oblique toe. And most of the Rooster boots, you'll find they have this type of toe profile. This is a really nice profile. I got to say, the first time in the boot, it felt a little big. From what I'm used to from wearing high-end logger boots, high-end wedge soles, and then going into an imported boot like this, I thought, it's a little big, it's a little sloppy. After a day or two, I really adjusted and I've really fallen in love with the toe shape that comes with their composite toe. The fact that it's 50% lighter than your average steel toe is also a really good factor when you think about single-piece sole, heavy-duty leather, steel toe. It's going to be heavy. Having the lighter weight toe really does help out. So as you can probably notice, this thing is leather welted, and because it is leather welted, that means if you really had the inkling to do so, you could take it to a shoemaker and have them put a new sole on. Personally, I think this pair of boots is going to be so beat by the time I'm done with it. This is only 4 weeks into this, plus I was testing another pair at the same time. So at about, I don't know, let's say the 6-month mark with this boot, it's probably going to be dead. Now that has nothing to do with the quality of the boot. It's just how hard I am on my boots. You might be, I don't know, a Tinkerbell and you're very lightweight in your boots. This thing could last you the rest of your life. You might be a beast and it might only last you 3 months. How long a boot lasts one person doesn't mean it's going to last you the same. So understand yourself better and understand your work environment better, and that will help you better gauge the longevity of a boot. With all that being said, we got to talk about this leather. So Crazy Horse leather is probably some of the toughest leather out there that you can make a good leather logger boot out of. So the fact that Rooster is using Crazy Horse leather and they're using a very good heavy duty hide in order to make their boots, what we're coming up with here is a very long wearing durable type logger boot that is not going to be for chainsaw work. I've mentioned that already, but I got to say it again because a lot of guys are going to comment below and say you can't wear composite loggers and you work with chainsaws. And I know this and we know this, but I guess maybe some people still don't know that out there. So guys, feel free to mention it, right? So the other thing I gotta say about the leather is I did not treat this leather at all because they are waterproof with a HydroGlide waterproof membrane. Now, something you guys have probably, who've watched enough of my videos, know that I hate waterproof membranes. I'm in favor of them if you need them. If your line of work involves tons of water every single day, you need to be dry. And if you can't wear heavy duty rubber boots in order to be dry. You need leather lace-up boots. Waterproof membranes are great. This waterproof membrane actually works. I've gotten soaked. I've gotten soaked day in and day out for at least a week in these things, and I was A-okay. My feet were never wet if I was outside. The moment I stepped inside and had to work in the back of a room for about 24 straight hours, this thing, my feet were soaking wet just from my own perspiration. Now, I sweat a lot. Plus, I always wear wool socks. So I will say this, if you're gonna wear these inside, you probably want to invest in a real thin wool sock or a thin wicking sock, and you wanna have a boot dryer. So at the end of the day, you're probably gonna wanna dry these out without using forced air, or just using normal convection in order to dry them out, because they're going to be wet. Another high point about the sole is the puncture-resistant Kevlar layer that is built into all the Rock Rooster boots. And it's great. I mean, how can you argue with having something that's going to protect you from something coming through? Now, that doesn't mean you're going to go jump on a bed of nails. That doesn't mean you're going to start to walk across screws and stuff like that. It just means that in that moment, if you step on a piece of glass or a sharp piece of iron, that there is a chance that it is going to deflect it, more so than not having it there. And that's just a great thing. Puncture-resistant soles are just a really good idea in a work environment. Outside of a work environment, probably you'll never need it, but still, it's a good idea to include it in every boot you can. All right, so I'm opening this up, and you're taking a look inside, and you're saying, Isaac, that looks like polyester, and you're right. It's a polyester wicking liner that is connected to the waterproof membrane. Now, with it having that waterproof membrane and that wicking liner and that thick leather, yeah, that whole transference of dry to wet, of being able to push the moisture to the surface, it's gonna be really tough unless you've got the perfect storm, the perfect amount of evaporation going on in the air, the perfect amount of temperature, of moisture and everything. Yeah, it'll probably work, but in most cases, you're always going to be warmer on the inside of this boot than you're going to be on the outside, unless you're in the middle of the desert. Then you've got pretty much perfect scenarios for these to keep you dry. Insole inside, I gotta say, very impressed. Pour-on insole. Kind of like those famous insoles we see a lot of in those high-end boots. Same materials being used in the Rock Rooster boots. And I say high-end boots because Rock Rooster isn't really that well known. There's not a lot of guys running around on the job site telling each other, hey, I just got a brand new pair of Rock Roosters. At least not in this country. Maybe in Australia, maybe over in Europe, guys are wearing more of the Rock Roosters, but here in the stateside, it's kind of still an unknown brand. And I don't know. I think going forward, you're going to start seeing more of this, mainly because price point and quality, because they're making a super good quality boot at an extremely fair price. I think when you check the website, you're going to notice that you can always see the Rock Roosters are going to be on sale for the model that you're looking for, and they're always offering some sort of discount code too, so that's not the worst thing in the world for a quality boot. As long as you're okay and you don't have to have that name brand, this Rock Rooster boot is going to be an excellent thing for you to choose. So that's the Rock Rooster Rosemont. Hey guys, if you're currently wearing a pair of Rock Rooster boots, please comment below and let other guys know what you think about it. If you got a pair of the wedge or a pair of the more technical boots, comment below, let guys know about the brand, let guys know about your experience. Rock Rooster being a newer brand around, I think we're gonna see them grow in the marketplace. Hey, if you're interested in seeing some photos I took of this during the 1 month trial period, swing by my Instagram page and check it out there. Hey, if you've been using the buy me a beer button, if you've been using the buy me a cup of coffee button, I say thank you. And I think it's a great thing that YouTube allows us to reach out to our subscriber base and let them know about our plans. And if they want to take part in our plans, they can, that we can create instruments that allow people in order to make the production of what it is they're enjoying a better thing. Gentlemen, if you're about to pick up a pair of these and you got questions about size and fit, please shoot me over a personal message on Instagram. I wore these for a month. I wore the wedge soles from Rock Rooster. I'm actually getting a really good idea on the brand, what they make, and just how they fit. And like I said before, I think the brand's gonna take off once enough of us get behind them and start understanding that we don't have to overpay for quality work boots anymore, that there is stuff that's coming in to this country. It's being imported. Remember, these are made in China. They're being imported in, but they are of a higher quality than what some of the big names are importing in. All right, until the next time, I'm the Boot Guy. Thanks a lot for watching.